So, good evening, everyone. So, my name is Syed Ibrahim Hussain. I'm working with Action Holdings. So, currently I'm working on as an ERP specialist. Okay. So, in today's section, we will be covering topics such as the most important topics which will be asked in interviews, such as heaps, then trees, graphs, uh, hashing, and their applications. Okay. So, let's start with the first topic. Then that is hashing. Okay. So, what basically is hashing? So, okay. So, what basically is hashing? Uh, uh, in the simplest term, like suppose the interview is asking, like, hey, I will just try put an easy question to guess the level of your knowledge. So he will just ask like, what is hashing? So I guess everyone can answer this question about the hashing. Like they can say like it is a dictionary, it is a hash map, or we can say that in hashing there will be keys and values. So the keys will be mapped to values. So these type of questions will be answered by everyone. So your answer should be different from others. So you should your answer should be like the detailed one but not the boring one. Okay, so you can answer in the simplest way like hashing is a technique of mapping keys and values into the hash table by using a hash function. So here we are giving a loose end like hash function. So the interviewer might ask like what is hash function later. So you have to give these loose ends to the interviewer so that he can and further dig into your knowledge. So like you are driving your own interview, like you can drive your own interview by giving these loose ends. Okay, then further you can say that it is done for faster access of elements. The efficiency of mapping depends on the efficiency of hash function used. And the most important one which most of the one forgets is the time complexity. We use hashing because storing and retrieving in the hash table is the time complexity of storing and retrieving in hash table is constant. So it will be of one time complexity in hash tables. Okay, so here is a brief description about hashing. Like there will be keys, then there will be one hash function. So this hash function depends will predict the indices of the buckets. So what this is a John Smith number has to be saved. So this John Smith is the key. It will be given to the hash table. The hash table will predict and give the index as 02. So at 02 index, his a number phone number will be stored. Okay. So you can say like you can give a brief description of hashing and give a brief example also. Hash functions, like, as I said, like he might ask like if you give like it depends on hash function. So he might ask what is a hash function. So you can cleverly say that a hash function is a mathematical function that converts a numerical input value into another compressed numerical value. Okay, for example, suppose this is a key. You want to store this thing in the hash tables, or it's simply you want to store this. So there will be some functions which will be followed, which you can use. Okay, I guess is my screen visible? Can anyone answer? Okay, cool. Okay, so like as I was saying, hash functions. Like what are hash functions? So like the hash function will take a large amount, large as input, like a large number as input. It can be like a GPG file or like it can be an MP4 or a video. Okay, or it can be like a text document, a very large text document, and it will compress it and it will give us an compressed value as output. Okay, so the types of hash functions we generally use. So like there are a number of hash functions, but generally like interviews, the interviewer might know only this type of hash functions. So like we can say like these are the hash functions, and like some examples of hash functions are like the mod method, the folding method, mid square method. So if the interviewer is keen, like is interested in the interview, then he will further dig and say like say something about mod method. So like you guys further go ahead and research about these methods like the mod method, folding method, mid square method, etc. Okay. Then so the second topic, which the second most important topic in the hashing is collision resolution techniques. So sometimes what happens, like the same hash function and will give the output or the indices as two different keys, or I can also say that two different keys can have a same indices. So this situation is known as collision. Okay, so like if an interviewer asks you like what is a collision in hashing and how can you rectify it, how can you resolve it. So you might so like you must understand that it is he's asking about collision resolution techniques. So in that we have a separate chaining, linear probing, and then there are some other collision resolution techniques also. Like you guys can further study about this, but these are most important topic. Like I'm just saying the brief introductions, brief topics, so you guys can further go and do research on it. Okay. Huh. About this, this sort of was the theory. Like in the practical exams, like in the assessments, you might not ask about theory questions like what is hashing or these type of questions. You will be given a problem, so you have to implement the theory into the problem. Like he might ask if like give the first element occurring k times in an array, then he can give the input as 1743487 and k as 2. So here you must be good in theory, so that you can use the theory here, and I say like here I can use hash tables and I can give like 1 is occurring one time, 7 is occurring two times, 4 is occurring two times, 3 is occurring one time, and 8 is occurring one time. Okay, so here the first element which is occurring two times is 7. Okay, so in this way you can solve the problem if you know the theory. And then next topic is graphs. Okay, so graph, what graphs are. So a graph is a nonlinear data structure consisting of nodes and edges. The nodes are sometimes also referred to as vertices and edges. Okay, so graphs are not both graphs can be directed or non-directed, undirected. Okay, here we will say A as a node, and the line which is connecting node A and node B is known as edge. Okay, graphs have numerous implementations. So like on the graphs, it will be like if you search on websites such as Gigs or Tutorial Points, here you can find hundreds of questions which are based on graphs. Okay, so representation of graphs. So the interviewer might ask like what are graphs and how the graphs are represented. So representation is also like of many types, but the basic ones are adjacency matrix and adjacency list. So these two types are basic ones, and which has to be known and for the interviewer and for the interview. Okay, this one, the most important question, which like I guess 90% of in 90% of the interview, the question will be asked of BFS and DFS, breadth first search and depth first search. These are two topics which every student must be known. Every IT student or CSC student must be known. So like I will give you the brief explanation of BFS, what BFF is. Okay, so here as you can see, there are 6 nodes. Okay, and these nodes are connected with each other. So the interviewer might also ask, he might give a graph and he can say like, write the BFS of the following graph. This can be asked in the assessments also or in the interview also. So here, so so the trick is you must not directly give the answer. You can give, but you have to solve it in the first person. Like you can see the interview like we start with the graph node 1. Okay, in the BFS, yes, first we will visit the nearest nodes. So the nearest node of node 1 is 2 and 3. Okay, so you can show like this. From 1 I will visit 2, then 3. Okay, then the recent visited node is 2. Then from 2 I will visit 4 and 5. Okay, then from 4 I will visit 6. So in this way you have to solve the graph problems in the when you're sitting in the interview. Okay, or if you're writing assessments, you must be very fast. Like once you get a BFF answer, you must solve in only 30 seconds, so that you can give the time for other questions. Okay, so like in the same way, DFS, like we have breadth first search, then we also have depth first search. In the depth first search, what we'll do is, we will visit the nearest node. Then we will visit again the nearest node of the recently visited node. As you can see here, from node A, we are visiting to B. From B, we are visiting to D. Okay, in DFS, from A we will visit to B and C, but in depth first search we will visit one by one, and there will be also there will be a term as backtracking in DFS. Okay, so he might also ask what is the difference between DFS and DFS. So as I said earlier, in a BFS we will first visit the nearest nodes, all nearest nodes, but in DFS we will visit only one nearest node. Okay, this is the like, basic difference, and you can draw draw two graphs and show it to him. And minimum spanning tree. In general, like these minimum spanning trees are used in everywhere. Like nowadays we are using like Uber, Google Maps, Zomato, and every this all apps use this minimum spanning tree concept and to get to the destination as early as possible. So in minimum spanning tree, so you might ask like what is minimum spanning tree? So you can say like minimum spanning tree is a spanning tree where the cost is minimum among all the spanning trees. So like here we are giving a loose end of all the spanning trees. So the interviewer might ask like what is spanning trees? So like you must be clever enough that you must also know what is spanning trees. So you can further say that a spanning tree is a subset of graph G which has all the vertices covered with minimum possible number of edges. If you give these two answers, the interviewer will be impressed by you. Okay, or like you can also show him like by giving a diagram. Like there are 4 vertices, and here we can have many spanning trees. Okay, but the minimum spanning tree is the one which has a minimum distance. So in a minimum spanning tree, we have concepts like Prim's algorithm, Kruskal algorithms, and Dijkstra's shortest path algorithm. So these are the most important algorithms. Once you all go through this, okay. Examples. And that was a theory part. So that theory can be implemented in the problems. Like we have NQN problems, Hamiltonian cycle, M coloring problem, minimum cost to connect all cities. So these are the like basic examples which will cover the concept of graphs. Okay, then trees. Same like graphs, we have another data structure which is known as trees. So we have also learned a data structure. Array is a data structure. Linked is a data structure. Graphs, trees are data structures. So what makes each of them different from others? So trees and graphs are non-linear data structures, whereas arrays and linked list are linear data structures. So then if interviewer asked what makes tree different from other data structures, so you can say a tree is a non-linear data structure where inserting and retrieving of data is much easier than the linear data structure. So these are the key points which you have to remember while saying the answers. So a tree is a hierarchical data structure defined as a collection of nodes. Nodes represents values and nodes are connected by edges. A tree has the following properties. So while answering the trees, try to mention any 2 of these properties, like or all the properties. Try to remember all the properties. Like a tree has one node called root node. So there will no parent node or the root node. A tree originates from this, and every node can have one or multiple children. Each node is connected to its children via edges. So here is a diagram of a tree. As I said, there will be one root node. Okay, this is the root node. There will be no parent node of this root node. This root node can have 1 or 2 or multiple children. Okay, so the nodes which are lying at the bottom of the tree is known as leaf nodes. Okay, so the nodes whose parent are same is known as neighbor nodes or siblings. Okay, so a node which has children are known as parent node. These are the like basic concepts of trees. Height and depth of trees. Sometimes like if you are done with graphs, so never may be interested to know what trees. So he will give you a tree and I will ask what is the height of this tree and depth of this tree. So height and depth are different concepts. Usually students get mixed up and get confused. So you have to be clear, like you must know the difference between a height and depth. As you can see in this example, the height of this tree is 2. How? Because the longest distance from this node to the leaf node is 2. As you can see, it is from here to here 1, from here to here 2. But the depth of this tree is 0. Okay. Now here, let's take an example of this first node, second node. The height is 1 because the longest distance is only 1, and depth is 2 because the longest distance from the leaf node to this node is also 1. But here in the in the third node, the height is 0 because there is no child node to this node. But the depth is 1 because the longest distance from the root node to this node is 1. Are you getting it? So this is the difference between height of the tree and depth of the tree. These height and depths are the most important concepts which you will be able to if you're clear with these topics, then you can easily do the implementation while problem solving. Okay, tree traversals. So they're like that three tree traversal techniques, which is known as in order, pre-order, and post-order. So here I will give you a quick trick. Okay, what do you mean by in order, pre-order, and post-order? Don't try to buttify these things. These are the like LDR, DLR, LRD. You will get messed up in front of the interview. In order, like you instead of that, try to remember like this. In order. So take the root element as your concept. Okay, take the root element in order. In order means the root element should be in between. So first it should be left subtree, then root, then right subtree. Pre-order, the root element should be come first before the order. Like pre means first. So the first will be the root element, then will be the left subtree, then right subtree. Post order means the root element must be post to the order. Like it should be after the order. So it should be for the first will be left subtree, then right subtree, then the root element. Try to remember in this way so that you don't get confused in front of the interviews. Okay. Types of trees. This is also the most important questions that the interviewer will like to ask. Like he might ask like, what is binary tree? What is full binary tree? Perfect binary tree? Complete binary tree? So these are the important trees which you have to know. Like at least know the definitions of these trees and the differences between each other. Like he can ask, what is AVL tree? The most important is AVL tree. So you can say that AVL trees are the self-balancing trees. Okay. So, but you should also know what is self-balancing trees. Okay. So in AVL trees, there are concepts like rotations and all these things. Like try to do research on all these trees and get perfect in it. Properties of trees. So these things, if you know these properties, if you are know these properties, you can easily do the assessment programs, assessment questions. Like he can ask using the properties. Like suppose if you take an example of first property, minimum number of nodes in a binary tree of height h. If the question is like, what is the minimum number of nodes in a binary tree whose height is 4? So you can directly, if you know this property, you can directly say that it can be 5. Suppose if you ask whose height is 35, so you cannot in the examination you cannot do it manually like 35 and each node has one child node all this way. So if you know these properties, these are basic 4 properties which will be helpful in your assessments as well as in interview questions. So there's a second property is maximum number of nodes in a binary tree of height h. Maximum, it is minimum, it is maximum. Okay, then total number of leaf nodes in a binary tree is equals to total number of nodes with 2 children plus 1. Maximum number of nodes at level L in a binary tree is 2 power L. So these are the properties which you have to be like remember. So difference between trees and graphs. Okay, so these are the basic differences which everybody must know. Like as I said, graph is a non-linear data structure. Trees are non-linear data structures. It is a collection of vertices and nodes. Collection of vertices and nodes. Each node have any number of edges, but generally trees consist of nodes having any number of child nodes. But in case of binary trees, every node can have at most 2 child nodes. Okay, there is no unique node called root node, but in trees there will be a unique node known as root node, from where the tree will originate. Okay, in graphs can have cycles, but trees cannot have cycles. This is the most important difference between graphs and trees. Graphs can have cycles, but trees cannot have cycles. Okay, so applications, you can give applications. Like okay, so this is the descriptions of the basic topics. For more information, you can visit the sites such as Geeks or Geeks. Okay, tutorials 3 point. Wait, I will show you like how to find. Like if you go to Geeks for Geeks, Okay, and give trees as example. Okay, see here you can find a number of questions related to trees or any type of data structure. Okay, there another website known as Programmis. Okay, so, this website is good with theory concepts. Like if you follow all these things, and then you will be like strong in the data structures. Like these concepts have every important like keywords and concepts. Like if you go through all these things, you will be good in data structures. Okay, then there's another website known as Tutorials Point. Okay, these websites, like if you are good in these websites, then you can go ahead and work with geeks. Geeks, so geeks have questions like, yeah. So after like going through all the concepts, you can come here and like test your knowledge, like and try to solve all these questions. So this was related to the concepts such as heaps, grass, trees, and okay, graph, trees, and hashing. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask it. Okay. Okay, then guys, thank you so much for attending this section, and make sure like you go through the concepts which I have mentioned just now. If you have any queries, you can directly ping me, and like or ping our chief of our scholarship on academy. Okay, then see you. Bye. Take care.